I remember standing in my kitchen one afternoon completely exhausted. There were dishes piled up in the sink, the laundry still needed to be folded. It was just crazy. My son Ethan wanted me to carry him, Bryson needed a snack. I just felt like everybody was needing something from me. I had not worked out that day, and I really woke up in the morning feeling like today was going to be a great day. I was going to do all these great things, but at the end of the day, I felt like I hadn't accomplished anything. Then, almost without thinking, I picked up my phone, my comfort zone. And within a few minutes, I was watching another mom online. Her house looked spotless. Somehow, she had found time to work out. She looked so put together while I was over here looking crazy. She was building her business while taking care of her home, and she was standing on business. Her kids looked happy and looked put together. And I remember thinking, like, what am I doing wrong? How is she doing all of these? Why does it seem like everyone else has it figured out except me? I really thought that I was the only one that was trying to figure this motherhood thing out. Maybe you have never compared yourself to another mom. Maybe it's someone else's career. Maybe you've compared yourself to their marriage, to their house, to their body, or maybe to the amount of money that they make. Whatever it is, that you've probably had that quiet thought that I'm behind. I'm like, who are you behind? Who are you comparing yourself to? Behind who? For a long time, that's exactly how I felt. I always felt like I should be doing more, and I could be doing more. And to be honest, I still think I can do more. I don't think it's wrong to have dreams. I don't think it's wrong to want to grow. I don't think it's wrong to believe that God has more for your life. But somewhere along the way, I realized I had crossed the line. I wasn't being motivated anymore. I was measuring my life against everyone else's life. That's what I was doing. And one day I had to stop and ask myself a question. And that completely changed my perspective. Behind who? Because if I'm constantly feeling behind, then I must be comparing myself to someone. Who am I comparing myself to? The people that society said I should compare myself to? And when I genuinely answered this question, I realized I wasn't comparing myself to people I actually knew. I was comparing myself to people on social media. People who don't even know me. People whose struggles I never get to see. People who are sharing their highlights while I'm living through my ordinary Tuesday. And I had to think to myself, how unfair is that? How unfair is it for you to be comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel? How unfair is that? Think about it, that's so crazy. No wonder I always felt like life wasn't enough. Then I realized that it wasn't just social media. It was all the expectations that I had that I'd quietly accepted without even realizing it. Somewhere along the way, I believed that there was this timeline that I had to follow. You should own a house by this age. You should have everything figured out by a certain age. I even had an age where I needed to have 3 kids before I turned 30. I needed to hit a certain amount of money before I turned 25. My kids have to act a certain way. They need to be perfect. They need to go to all these extracurricular activities. They need to talk by this age. They need to walk by this age. And one day I had to ask myself, who created all these rules? Right? My hand hurts. Let me sit down or stoop down. Why am I chasing all of these goals? Why do I even want more? Do I even actually want more? Or do I just think I'm supposed to want more? And I noticed that every time I reached a goal, I barely celebrated it. There's this fly that keeps following me everywhere. I'll accomplish something. I will say, okay, what's next? What's next? Let's move on to the next thing. Maybe I'm going to celebrate for a few minutes, maybe a day. Then I was already chasing the next thing. I spent so much of my life preparing for the future that I forgot to actually live the life that I already had. And I think so many of us are doing that. We're waiting. You keep telling yourself that you'll be happy when you get married. You're going to slow down when the kids leave the house. I'll enjoy life when I have more money. But life is happening right now. Not 5 years from now. Not after the promotion that you're waiting for. Not after the big house. Not after the money. Not after the kids get older. Right now. Life is constantly happening right now. Life is not going to wait for you. It's happening whether you like it or not. And one thing that changed everything for me was gratitude. Not just writing down things that I was grateful for, but actually slowing down long enough to enjoy them. Because I realized something. You cannot say that you're grateful for your life if you never stop long enough to live it. I want to say it again. You cannot say you're grateful for your life if you never stop enough to live it. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you. It's enjoying what God has already given you. It's taking a walk, like what I'm doing now. It's laughing with your kids, it's sitting outside, it's having dinner with your family without rushing to the next thing. It's noticing the blessings that have become so ordinary that you've stopped seeing them. The little things, you're waiting for the big things. It's just the slow mornings, the quiet time alone, the drinking coffee. I used to wake up and grab my phone almost immediately. I tried all kinds of tricks to spend less time on social media, trust me. But what finally changed wasn't another productivity tip. No, it was me making a decision. I decided that I didn't want comparison to control my mornings anymore. And I invited God into something that seemed so small. I started praying. I started reading my Bible. I asked the Lord that, hey, Lord, help me stop comparing my life to everyone else's. I cannot keep living my life like this. Help me stop looking at my screen so much that I forget to look at the beautiful life that you have placed right in front of me. Because when we invite God into these decisions, it makes life better. Sometimes we forget that God cares about the little things, about everyday life. And that really changed everything for me, changed my mindset. Today I can actually watch the same exact videos that used to make me feel insecure, and they don't affect me the same way. And it's not because those creators changed, but it's because I changed. I know what I'm looking for now. I know the kind of life that I want to build. I know what God is calling me to. And that was because I had to get rid of all the noise. I had to stay in silence to be able to listen to the Holy Spirit. And when you know your direction, you stop feeling like every other path is the one that you should be on. Now, don't get me wrong, I still have dreams. There are still things that I want to accomplish. There are still goals that I'm working towards. But chasing those dreams no longer keeps me from enjoying the season that I am in. Because I know that one day my kids won't be this little anymore. My parents aren't going to be the same age that they are anymore. They're getting older. I'm getting older. And I know that one day that this house that I keep complaining about that is so noisy is going to be so quiet. And I don't want to spend this year so focused on becoming someone else that I miss the gift of being my kid's mom today. I had to ask myself a very hard question. If I lost my money tomorrow, will I be sad? And the answer was, of course. But do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get up and work again. If I lost my job, I'm going to rebuild. I'm going to strategize, probably get another job or build something. But if I lost my health, my family, my marriage, or my relationship with God, those are the big buckets in my life. If I lost all of those things because I spent years chasing things that society told me was important, while neglecting the things that actually matter to me, that I will regret. And that is what I don't want to live with. So today I don't see myself as someone who's behind anymore. I honestly believe that I'm right where I'm supposed to be. That doesn't mean that I'm going to stop working. No, it actually means that I know the things that I'm going to be working towards, the things that I'm going to start chasing. And I'm not going to stop dreaming. No, it actually means that I said get to dream more. It means that I trust God's timing while being faithful to what He has given me now. Because if God wanted me somewhere else today, I will trust that He will make a way in His perfect timing to give me that. And my responsibility is to steal what is already placed in my hands. It is to enjoy this season. It is to trust Him in this season of life and to stop measuring my life by someone else's timeline. So if you have been feeling behind lately, can I ask you the same question that changed everything for me? Behind who? That is the question that I want you to answer. You're feeling behind who? Maybe you're not even behind at all. Maybe you've just been watching too many people run a race that God never asked you to run. So this week, I want to challenge you to do one thing. Before you pick up your phone tomorrow morning, spend 5 minutes thanking God for the life you already have. Being grateful. Whether it's journaling, making a video about it, just spend 5 minutes. Pause. Reflect without the noise. Don't pray for the life that you want to have someday. Pray for the life that He has given you today. Because your life isn't waiting to begin. It's already happening. And I don't want either of us to miss it. I don't want you to miss it. I don't want to miss it either. So if this video encouraged you, I would love to hear from you in the comments. What's one area where you've been feeling behind? And what's one thing in your life today that you're grateful for? And if you're someone who's learning to slow down, to live more intentionally, to grow in your faith and enjoy the life that God has already given you while still pursuing your dreams, I'd love for you to subscribe, follow the channel. We're on this together, okay? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.